So here's a little bit about what our clients have had to say. We talk about Isaac quite a bit because he gave us actual numbers. So check it out. I tracked 12 sales to this interview. These were 30 to 50K full installs. Isaac Abchinikov, owner of Shield Exteriors. One example right there. This is somebody we had as a this is what he said during our little Zoom call to discuss being on the show. I am in. I know this works. My former employer's sales went up 20% after we did our interview with the TV anchor from KMOV. Let's pick a date to do this. Owner Jason Schinkel, Jason Irrigation LLC. And Jason, he told me that when he said he wanted to pick a date, he knew that because we offer so much more content that this is really going to help him. Nowadays, you can amplify this 10 times with your social media. Business owners do not realize what you are doing for them. You need to raise your prices. This is from Jim Manning, Three Doors owner. He and his business partner had two businesses on, and I ran into him at patios after a Cardinal game. He says, "You've got to keep doing this and help him doing what you do." So, interruptions are on our screen, but giddy up and watch David's proposal interview. He put this is a clip from his website where he's put it, and he says, "Carter, it just has done me so much more." I got the quote he says here just to believe it. Snapshot of all these testimonials we've taken here so far. There's a bunch more coming, a bunch more we've had. Neil Gilman says, "Cowboy, now I just tell people to go watch our interview on ABC on your Little Castle show. It sells our service for me. Best decision I made as someone who does little marketing." This is what Pastor Dave Rispoli said. He said, "Carter, I tell you, I simply send people to my website to watch my interview with you on our show, and it sells my service for me. They get to see what I'm about. Being on for 30-minute interview on ABC adds the credibility they need to see. Done deal." Pastor does that. He's a marriage counselor too. Owner Mike Augustine. I saw Mike at patios a couple times, and one of the times I stopped and said, "How's it going? What are you using it for?" He says, "We have been putting the interview and clips you made for us all over our social media. It's given us tons of exposure that leads people to us to do business. Being on the show, Your Little Castle show, was great. How many people can say they have had a half-hour interview on ABC?" Angela Courtwright, just something nice to say. And I called him. I said, "Are you using it?" "Oh, we're not using it near as much as we should. But I tell you what, thank you." Chris and I said the interview about, same about you when I said to her, "You guys look great on the interview." She said, "We look great. You look good. You're good at what you do and make it easy for us." I actually started to lose my nervousness about 9 minutes in. It turned out great. Thank you again. Yeah. Thanks for memorial event. We need to do another one later with a different vibe. Hell, let's do a series for every season. We could do one in late October or deer season for the deer hits and wildlife prevention, and one about ice and snow season. Then keep reiterating the OEM and insurance upgrades." You watch his interview. He talks about why OEM is so important. Original equipment manufacturer, and how many of your auto body shops get secondary or somebody else making the product that's not from the original manufacturer. Pretty important, but he makes sure that happens. He knows how to make sure that doesn't get taken advantage of. Then in the spring, bring Corey in to talk about hail season. Cedric Webb. Cedric and I were both the #1 sales reps 2 different years in the entire company of about 1,600 sales reps in the country for a very large. Everybody knows who they are. I'll leave it at that. But we're fine. I get along. I left, but I ran into my former vice president up at the Cubs Cardinals game in Chicago. They're based out of Chicago, or one of their headquarters is in Chicago. They're based out of Dallas. I just show the interview to anyone interested in working with us. It's really helped with hiring top-notch employees. They see us on ABC with the Cardinal Cowboy, who everybody knows, and think we are obviously very legit. This is important for any company trying to make a name for themselves. Mike Boyd. This was an interesting. Mike, I was doing some promos to get this thing launched. I went to a what do you call them? Trade show, and let's just talk to people. And we got clearance from the trade show people. Yeah, we know what Cowboy is, and you can interview a few people. And I just did some quick little clips and put them on social media and did that for free. And then one of the guys said, call me, and I couldn't find his number. He said, I thought I had it, but Google search, you can usually find people. It's enough to get them. And he said, Festus. And this guy comes up, Mike Boyd. Mike and I have become friends now too. He says, I called him and I said, hey, tell the owner there, I was trying to get you guys on. I'm looking for a Festus company. I thought it was you guys. It may not be. Maybe I was, if you guys are in Festus, I figured I would just call whoever it was. They could be any fence company can be on the show. Anyway, I said, Mike, give me a call, or whoever, tell the boss, I'm sorry, I didn't know Mike personally at that time, give me a call back, and I'd like to talk to you about being on my show. So Mike, it was interesting. It was more interesting was that I called in and gave him my number. They wrote down the number wrong. But Mike was so interested to see what the Cardinal Cowboy was calling him about because he knows me from what I do, even though we never met, obviously. But he just said, I had to call back. And then I talked to him. He's like, definitely, this is going to be awesome. And we did a little on-site for him. He worked out a special deal for him to go on-site. You can see I'm at one of his jobs there. Between your name, Cardinal Cowboy, and ABC, your clips are producing as good as any of our ads, if not better, as far as a response. The difference between ads is you pay for those every time they run, versus this, it's done once, you pay for it, for what we charge to produce, and then you never have to pay for it again. You just keep posting it organically, and that's what he's talking about. So that's a big difference. I will definitely be back with you in the future here as soon as we run through the clips. And these clips can last a long time because you can snap images out of them. You can do, because they're all shot in high def, and it's just somewhat, they can last for a long time. And we can recut. We've got a new program we use that will take the interview, chop it up into clips. You just plug it into the program, and it turns them and makes them into squares, one on top of the other, puts text across the front, what you're saying. And it's another version of the same thing. And it just makes people, you got to get people's attention. Facebook doesn't even show it to 10% of your people anyway. So you'd have to show it 9 other times to get everybody to see the one clip that you did show, and then you go to the next one. But yeah, Mike is awesome. Finishing up here, Sam Morris. Sam is a longtime buddy of mine. I've done work with Sam in all kinds of different parts of the world and doing different stuff, business world, and he knows what I'm about. So I called him, and he said, dude, you just tell me what time and where. So he was my second guest. I think he was the first one to say yes, he wanted to be on, but he recorded after Pastor Rispoli. And he says, you just tell me when and where. I know what you do. I know what you're about. I know the kind of awareness you have in the community and what you do. So, and we proved it right here. This is just a clip out of the entire show, but this is where you get to meet Sam as part of the interview. And he's the third guy there with the dreadlocks there. And like I said, Sam, longtime friend, great guy. And that's his new associate, and that's his wife on the far end over there. And we literally were just figuring this whole thing out. But you can see right there, with this one little clip, he got 2,100 views. He has other stuff he's put out there that are high-level drone images, and they're getting 100 views or less. So I think that's what we got. Yeah, that's my snapshot. We got an Airbnb, and she asked, when are we checking out? And I said, here you go. Yeah, you got it right. So check this stuff out. You'll see these interviews. These are all on our on our website. If you go to yourlittlecastle.com/results, this is all coming from there. But I wanted to make it easy for somebody, because we all know people don't go and read stuff. There's our cabin that's getting flooded. But I'm doing this little interview, this little recording on my what they call a fold. It's like a tablet, but it's a phone because it folds, and I'm just using it because I can produce and get anything done anywhere. I now do my commercials for KMOX using the same phone. I bought a $200 microphone when I first was doing the commercials for my sponsor that wants me to be their spokesperson, Renner Garage, RENNER. People tell me all the time, I hear you all the time, Cowboy, on KMOX. And we're in like a year and a half we've been working with them, almost 2 years now. And about every quarter we come up with a new series of commercials. One they're talking now is about my accident and everything I went through. But so you don't want to get stuck in life because you didn't, something bad happened, which and they're using my story to generate awareness about their company, and they do a great job. Mr. Brad Dodson there is awesome. So, and they said they got a sponsor, a guy like me in Kansas City, and I'm the guy in St. Louis, and I think it's working great. So, but they were on the show too. So check these out, and we'll get back to you. Thanks, you guys. Giddy up.